Hey guys,
Hey
and welcome
guys!
to our...
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Welcome to our review of Ultraman Z, episode 15. I am your host, Cinder Blaze. With me today we have not our host, but...
oh, I'm Aresol. Why am I second?
Yeah, I'm the frozen Stratos who is going third now.
Yeah, well... Yeah, you did go third. Don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, let's jump into our review for the episode. It's our second time recording it, so sorry if our thoughts are all jumbled up, but man, this was a really fun episode. That opening scene was like, I haven't seen Grieza before this. Thank you, Aresol, for pointing out he was the main villain for Ultraman X. Definitely put a lot more weight in the episode. But even without knowing that, that dude was scary, and he was just putting on a show. He was taking on Jeed, Zet, and Five King in that opening fight. Whew. What a way to start the episode.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my favorite things about this villain is just the visuals surrounding him, the way they decided to depict him, and just the visuals in how they decided to show us him flickering in and out of existence like he does not belong there. It was one of my favorite effects, and even the specifically timed real explosions that they put in to match with him glitching through was really cool.
Yeah, this is the part where I agree with that and say that the erratic movements coupled with the special effects on how he moved was really cool. I've always loved that. I really love seeing Ultraman pull from its very long history and just the catalog of villains and heroes that it has. And use that, and it used a bunch here, and that's great. It's always fun.
Yeah, it amazes me every time they're able to play with their toy box more so than most other series. Sentai does that maybe 2 or 3 episodes every 3 or 4 years. But as I'm watching X, it's every other day they're pulling out something that has been pre-established, and they're just using canon rather than I guess making their own. But it makes it feel a lot more connected.
Yeah, and that's something you definitely expect from this show. Jeed was there from the get-go. Zero was Zet's master, so obviously the lineage is going to be a lot more important in this Ultraman series than what you would expect from previous ones, Rube. That was kind of its own thing almost for the most part. This one just pulling everything from every which way.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty neat. Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of Rube, their opening henshin. Honestly, I'm so used to Rube dragging that henshin on for 5 minutes. The way that they combined both of theirs and edited it really well together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was very impressive. I think that was probably the most impressive part of that opening was that they did it a henshin that they didn't botch up, and not just bad, but it was good.
Yeah. It was very well edited together. That was very, very cool.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
so surprised that we didn't mention that in the original timeline.
Yeah. But I will say, the editing really picked up where filming probably couldn't handle that. Riku obviously was not anywhere near any of the other actors.
He was in a wormhole.
Immediately, he shows up. Hey, I'm here. I'm just gonna transform immediately. I won't come down to say hi. I'm just gonna go into it. And that's where the editing helped. Obviously, potentially some stock footage at the beginning, and then some voiceover. But then you had that that cross henshin that got you into the fight, and you just didn't care after that.
Yeah. Like Riku wasn't needed this episode, which I thought was like a pretty good way of like handling like not using the actor as much. Like because Grieza was already there, so like we just needed him to be Ultraman G'd, and then like he gets sucked up because of like his power, and by the end of the episode, like they're done. Like you can just like be G'd and just like fly out and be done with it. So like I didn't even have like a single like complaint about that. Like they worked around it extremely well. But then like I guess like although like the editing was good, the way they kind of like strung together the plot was I guess it's clean, but it's just a little bit simple,
Yeah.
Like
it was a very straightforward episode.
Yeah. But like it executed it flawlessly. Like it was you have the recipe, but sometimes people can fuck up a recipe and then you get a really bad cake at the end. But they just did it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like
but
they
they
executed on it well.
They did set it up like a little bit beforehand. The one part that was a little BSy was Zet with the suggestion, hey, why don't we use an Ultraman Belial medal to, beat this new enemy? Like, why would you like you already said like he even says like it doesn't exist. Like, why would you even mention that then? Like
Maybe I mean like does Belial have some sort of special property that
He's
is
just
dimensionally
incredibly strong. And
Oh, okay. Well, then I have no idea.
yeah. But then again, like he's roughly like Zero's equal. So
Oh, okay.
you would assume that the Alpha Edge, right? That form would also be pretty strong, but I'm pretty sure it's lost a lot of fights. So there's something whack with that one.
Well,
But
what if it's a situation where it's a third of his strength, and then the rest come from the other Ultraman? So then, when you take him and Belial, and then Jeed, who is a product of Belial, then like you get like this very strong.
well, for
combination.
this episode, I think Zet kind of like mentions that like the metals are kind of like reacting to one another. Like when Zero and Belial are in the same form, they're just like they're rivals, so they're just trying to like one up each other. So it probably just like flares it open. Like then we had Zero Beyond and Belial atrocious, not atrocious, atrocious.
So maybe this is thinking about it way too, I don't want to say scientifically, but you know how when you have two opposing magnets and they want to like, separate, they've got a lot of potential energy stored up because they want to move that way. What if it's something like that where like it's creating a lot of potential energy that the form uses to its advantage?
And then you add some eggs and some milk and you bake a cake. Yeah,
that's,
I get it.
That's how cake works, yeah.
Yeah, in this example, Jeed is the egg that holds everything together.
And then the Zet Riser is the blender that.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of like, oh man. I mean, it's not specifically about that. It's just like them getting that power up from our main villain was so tragic.
I think Aresol said it best earlier, and everything surrounding that scene was a lot better than, I guess, the scene itself, just because the main villain is just a plot point. There's nothing to him right now. There's no character to him, and like we just have to show up at his house because he's the asshole that has it.
Dude, they swatted him.
Oh no!
He was straight up playing like Call of Duty or something.
It did look like he was playing video games.
Oh man!
and they just like put him straight in it. Man, poor guy. Oh, I guess we should like also mention before that glorious scene. Juggler in the car. God,
Yeah,
he
so good.
Yeah.
he makes everything better. He is the pumpkin spice of this show.
I
oh,
love,
good. We're adding so. Riku's the eggs. He's the pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're making it.
I love like little mundane moments like that, but done with like monster suits or heroes or whatever. And Jugglers had like several of them throughout the series so far, and they're all really good.
Yeah, definitely a strong carry for the show.
I'm just sad he didn't pee while he was in the suit.
Wait, dude, you didn't see that.
That's true.
He could have. I think you had some issues with the final form. Or not the final form, because I don't know if it's his final form, but it's his final form.
I mean, I did, but we talked through it a little bit. It's just because, like, when the initial scans came out, it was really weird that Belial wasn't a part of the suit, but I was like, okay, well, the sword at least, you know, is Belial representation, but that wasn't even a part of the transformation. That was a function of, like, it was a weapon born not out of that form, but born out of some other thing. So
yeah.
It didn't seem like there was Belial representation within the suit until you guys started pointing a few of those out.
Yeah. I think some like the pattern on his like main body is somewhat reminiscent of Belial and Jeed because they have like basically the same kind of like printing. I think like Aresol, you said something about his chest place, which I
don't know. I'm grasping for straws, man, because the form looks more like it took from the other two and not from Belial. And I think you mentioned in a video that's never going to air. You initially thought it looked a little generic, which I absolutely agree. I think it looked a little standard, I guess. Just
yeah,
like it didn't look special enough compared to his other forms, which is why I wasn't thinking that it was his final one, but probably is. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. I am noticing like a similar like flare around the color timer. Nope, that's not the same thing. Maybe not. I have no idea. Never mind. I don't know how this thing works.
Yeah, I did see a lot of the Zero because like Zet prominently shows his Zero features whenever he henshins into him because like just like the shot from the back was straight up Zero Beyond.
Yeah.
So that looked pretty neat, but like there's not like enough to the form that makes it like uniquely like Zet. Like I know like yeah you're borrowing the powers from like the other writers, but like even for like Jeed, like they look, or maybe because it's just his eyes are just so prominent of a feature, but like they look like they're like his forms, whereas this one, this could be a Zero form, like just completely like. So I just kind of wish that. I guess it's more of like a hindsight thing, but like, or not hindsight, but retroactive thing. Like if they just put more character development on Zet to kind of like separate him from Zero a little bit, and just kind of like have him have his own kind of like personality, I guess. Then it probably would have worked a little better. But what can you do? Like this is the form of kind of with looks great. It looked amazing in like his debut with like the night sky or the night city as like a backdrop because like he's just kind of like shining in gold, so it looked really nice. But if you just kind of like have like a daytime fight, I don't see how this kind of like holds up, especially with like his other forms kind of like looking pretty neat, I would say. Yeah. Did anything else happen this episode? It was very
There
basic.
was a lot of fighting, and it was very like move from here to here to here to here to here. Like there wasn't really a B plot with any of the other characters. They were mostly just left at the base, and we were focusing on, just villain shows up, steals Jeed, let's get Jeed back.
Yeah, poor boy. All right, well that's it for our review. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check the description down below. We've got a little playlist that where the added revenue goes to support the BLM movement. So please check it out. That's it from us. Oh, for wondering, hey, where's the comments? Well, I uploaded the watch along very late. So yeah. All right. Catch you later.
Keep it.
I hope you get to see this.
I'm not recording this the third time.
That's fair. I think we're good. So maybe we should just move into the next one.
Are you sure you don't want to check to make sure?
Okay.